Hi guys, welcome back. It's Emma. Today I'm so excited to share with you my thrift and purchase book haul, all Christmas books. So this year I wanted to start a new family tradition where every day in December we give the children, our children, a new Christmas book. And so I'm going to wrap up 24 books to lead up to Christmas Day. And so I have those 24 books chosen and I want to share them with you. Some of them I bought new, ones that I just knew that I would want to have for the rest of my life. A lot of them I got secondhand on thrift books, which is a great way to get books. And a lot of them I first rented from the library to see if they were ones worth purchasing, and I really just bought the ones that I knew I would love. But you would definitely do this by slowly adding to your collection, maybe buying one or two every year, or throughout the year, buying one so that you're not purchasing them all at one time. That's what's great about a library is we can rent books and get them on loan for free. So let's jump into it. I do have, and I thought I should note that all of these book lists are on my blog, and so I have blog posts in the description box below for you to check out. I have one of all the classics, I have one specific to toddlers, and I have one that are specifically Christ-centered books, so books that are talking about the nativity. There's a lot of Christmas books that don't, and all of the ones that I've chosen are, in my opinion, very high quality. They are really wholesome books, some of them classics, some of them are a lot older, and just really, really beautiful collection. I'm so excited to share these with you. The first book is Merry Christmas, Stregonona, and this is a Tommy DiPaolo book. This is a cute story of Stregonona, and she's preparing for the big Christmas feast that she always throws, and she needs the help from Big Anthony. She has lists for him, and he's kind of forgetful, and it's just a really cute story. And there's a special surprise at the end for Stregonona. So Tommy DiPaolo has some great children's books, and this is a great one I'm excited for. A classic, The 12 Days of Christmas. This is the Jan Brett version. I got a different version, and personally I liked her illustrations more. I just think they're really clear, so you can see just exactly what they're talking about. And I don't know about you, but I just can't help but sing these books when it's a song like this. So there's the Maids a Milkin'. So this is fun. 12 Days of Christmas by Jan Brett. This copy is from Thrift Books. It's so cute. Someone else had got it from someone, but it's in pretty good shape. This is a book I grew up reading called Peter Spire's Christmas, also an older book, and it doesn't have any words. It's a picture book only. The illustrations are just so detailed. I think this one will be so fun for the toddlers and older kids. You could use it in so many ways. Like, I feel like an older child could go along and write the story of what's happening. You could just have so much conversation about what's happening on the pages, and it just goes through a whole Christmas. This is a longer book for sure. There's a lot of pages and just beautifully illustrated. This is one that I got on Thrift Books. And even if I link an Amazon link, some of them, they're not still being printed. And I think this is one of them. So you'll probably have to get a used copy if you want this one. This book is so cute. This is Christmas in Noisy Village. This is old school. Like, I love it. They use words like tobogganing. It's just about these children and kind of their conversation of the days leading up to Christmas and their Christmas celebration. A very sweet, classic Christmas book that I had never heard of before I went on my Christmas book endeavor. This one, The Little Drummer Boy, is simply the tune, the carol, The Little Drummer Boy. And as I was reading it, it was just so sweet, so simple, such a beautiful message that this little boy, he doesn't have a gift fit to give a king. And so he just decides to play on his drum. And it has the little, ba-rum-bum-bum-bum parts in the text. And so you really can just sing through this book in a beautiful way. I love it. So I got myself a new copy of The Little Drummer Boy. This book is very fun. This is the Story Orchestra. This is a whole brand or type of book. And this is the Nutcracker. And so it is like paper pages, but on every page there's a button. And it gives a little clip of that tune from the Nutcracker on each page. So very fun, interactive. I know my boys are just gonna love this one. They've actually already been listening to it a little bit, but it's been so fun. Now this is a beautiful story, the story of Holly and Ivy. And it's a story of the doll Holly and the little girl Ivy and how they meet. It is a longer story. You can see here the pages are lengthy. So this isn't one that I probably will even have out much. I might read aloud to my boys like while they're eating or if we're in the car, but they probably wouldn't sit still for me at this point for this story, but I know it's one that at some point they will love and listen to, and it is just such a beautiful story. I enjoyed listening to it and remembered hearing this as a child growing up. Whenever I asked anyone else, do you have any classic Christmas stories? They always say the story of Holly and Ivy. This is a sweet book. This is The Crippled Lamp by Max Lucado. And this is a story of a little lamb who just isn't as fast. His name is Joshua. And it's just his journey of feeling alone, but then something special happens on Christmas. The illustrations in this book are beautiful. Max Lucado has a lot of really beautiful books. A note on this story is that the animals are speaking in this book. As a Montessorian, some of the standard, I guess you would, is that with children under the age of 6, you would focus on things in reality, as they are, because our children are taking in everything around them, and we want to give them accurate impressions of the world. And so we wouldn't introduce them to talking animals or unicorns or fairies, those kinds of things. However, I think that's a commonly debated thing in the Montessori community, and I think we have to just look at our own family and our own preferences, quite honestly, if that is something that we agree or disagree with. Personally, I am okay with having books that have talking animals in them just because there's a lot of really great stories with animals who talk. And there's a lot of great stories with non-talking animals, and I love those ones too. But I'm not going to not introduce a great story to my children if it has talking animals. There are a few, and I will mention one at the end that the whole book is. It's actually another Max Lucado book. It's called Itsy Bitsy Christmas. I thought it looked so cute, but in that story, only animals talk, and there's not much human interaction at all, where this one has shepherds and Mary and Joseph. And so this just seemed like a better version or something I wanted. So that's just a consideration as you're reading through books, thinking the age of your children, if you want to be introducing books that have things that are not, based in reality. And so I just make a note about that. Speaking of which, this is another one. This is The Snowman. Got this as a used book, so there's no dust cover on it. But this is a picture-only book, and it's a picture book of the adventures of a little boy and a snowman. And a lot of obviously these things could not actually happen, and so here they're flying. But this is a really cute book. I love the illustrations, and something I grew up reading. I thought it would be really fun. and I wanted to have it. So that is one that we will be offering to our boys. A really simple board book, Christmas in the Manger. And this is just going through all of the different parts of what's present at the Nativity. Another classic, The Night Before Christmas, which is the poem by Clement Moore. And this is a rendition by Jan Brett. Again, I just liked some of her illustrations. The Night Before Christmas, a classic. Another Tommy DePaulo book. This is called The Friendly Beasts. It's a carol, so it's an old English carol. In the back, there's the tune. I'll actually link the video with the carol sung, but you can see. It got really great reviews. People were just saying how awesome that their children were engaged with it. I'm excited to read it to my boys. The cover looks familiar to me, but I don't vividly remember this book as a child. This book is so sweet, and I love it because there's a set of twins in it. So this is Peter and Loda's Christmas, an old school book, so you can see the illustrations. There is a little bit more text on these pages than, some of the other books. So this would be another one. We'll probably spend a lot of time looking at the pictures this year and maybe reading a little bit of it, but as they get older, I'm hoping that we'll be able to. I have to show you this picture of, this book also goes through, like it starts at Christmas and then it goes through a year and then it goes back to another Christmas. And so stuff happens. But at one point, Peter and Loda are watching a set of twins. And I just thought it was the cutest thing. Here, they take the twins into town and take them on walks. I just thought it was hilarious and had to have it. So this is going to be a really fun book that I'm sure my boys will love. Just the fact that there's a set of twins in it. But it's a really sweet story. This one's great. This is The Three Wise Men. I like this book because it uses the names of the three kings. So it talks about Melchior, Caspar, and Balthazar. The illustrations are beautiful. They're a little darker than some books, but I really like it, and kind of a fun book. You often don't get this perspective of Christmas. It usually ends at Christmas, but this is the journey. What happened after Jesus was born. And this one, Pick a Pine Tree, is about picking out a tree and decorating the tree and all the steps for that. It would be a really fun one to read when the day you go get your tree, or before you're planning to decorate your tree, especially for a young one, to just walk them through the process before you do that. These two books are from the same author, Shirley Hughes, older books. So this is Lucy and Tom's Christmas. What I like about it is it's very matter of fact. So it's saying what they do. It's all the steps and the process of getting ready for Christmas. And I think these books are really great for toddlers, young children, when they're just learning how the world works. I always have interest in getting these kinds of books where the story might not be so incredible and beautiful, but it's just a simple story. So here, this one's Alfie's Christmas. Here's a cute little board book, Who is Coming to Our House? And the animals are always, they're getting ready. They're cleaning and preparing for who's going to come to our house. And Mouse always says, someone, says Mouse. And they keep getting ready. Now, this is another one where the animals are talking throughout the book. So just note that. But I think a really sweet board book. This one's cute. This is Mortimer's Christmas Manger. This is about a little mouse, Mortimer. He's a little mouse that is looking for a house. And he ends up finding a special home, but then receives a really special gift on Christmas. So kind of a cute, sweet story. Again, talking animals in this one. This one's probably one of my favorite story books of a longer story. This is The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree. This book has such beautiful illustrations, just really classic And it's the story of a girl. It's their year to choose the Christmas tree for their church service, and her dad goes away to war, and it's just the journey of what happens with getting the perfect Christmas tree that year. So, a nice story. Longer story. I would say this is another longer one. Full pages of text, but a really sweet, great story. Room for a Little One. Just a very simple Christmas story. The kind ox, always saying that there's room for a little one. I thought the illustrations in this were really pretty beautiful. This is a sweet story. This one makes me feel like I just wish we could go back in time to when Christmas was simple like this and we looked forward to the orange that we got on Christmas. But this is An Orange for Frankie, another longer story book. So we'll probably look at just the pictures in this book this year, or I'll read it aloud at a different time. But this beautiful family, I think they have 8 children in this family. Kind of a sweet classic story, more old school. Another Jan Brett, The Mitten, a really fun one. This isn't specifically Christmas, but it is a winter book. And it's the story of all these animals. Let me see. All these animals trying to fit into a mitten, which is funny. So this is one I grew up reading, so it's nostalgic. All right, I have 3 more. This is a lot. This one was a recommendation from a friend, The Light of Christmas Morning. And I thought this was beautiful. It is very, it's a religious book, I guess you'd say. So it starts with the family going to Mass on Christmas Eve. And just their celebration at home, getting home. You see the Advent wreath here. I just really liked this because it would be reminiscent for my children of their experience in our home doing these things and their experience of Christmas. So very sweet, beautiful book about family tradition around Christmas. The next one is The Christmas Light, and this is the story of the daughter of the innkeeper. So kind of another unique perspective. She has an encounter with Christ that changes her life. Okay, my last book is The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey. This is another classic book, highly recommended. Great story, beautiful illustrations of a woodworker named Jonathan who never smiles and is all grumpy. He had some unfortunate life experiences. He lost his wife, and so he's met by this little boy and the boy's mother, who have asked him to make a replica of a nativity scene out of wood, carving it. So this is his journey with those other 2, the mom and the son, and there is a miracle for Jonathan Toomey on Christmas. So another very sweet book. So those are my finds. There are other books that are great that I didn't purchase, but I am recommending them. I rented a lot of books out from the library, read a lot of Christmas books. So if there's certain ones in here that you're like, that's not my jam, that's okay. There's a lot of other really great Christmas books too that you can check out. So remember, all those are in my blog post, which I'll link down below. I am super excited to just try this new tradition of wrapping up all these books and unwrapping them day at a time as we wait and anticipate the coming of Jesus on Christmas. It's such a special time of preparation and waiting, and I think this is just a really fun way for children to enter into that waiting and that anticipation for Christmas Day. So these are my books. Let me know if you have any favorites that I didn't include here, ones I missed. Drop those in the comments section below. I'm sure people would be grateful to hear more recommendations. Well, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you to see some of these finds of books. I hope you can get your hands on some of them for this Christmas season. I will see you next Friday for another video. Have a great day. Bye.